It's something every week with AB, and I love AB. I think he's a great player, has a tremendous work ethic, and you hear that coming out of Oakland about how they want him to be on the field because they want guys to see him work. It's just unfortunate that he's taken himself and his team through this ringer here with this helmet. Look, the NFL has over 30-some helmets that you can choose from. I think you can find a helmet out of 30, and everybody else in the National Football League is complying to what the league is asking to do. They're trying to protect the players as best they can. So I would think he could find some type of helmet where he can go out there and play. The thing that concerns me is he's not at practice. He's missed 10 to 15 days. So where's the continuity with Derek Carr? John Gruden's got to put together a game plan at some point. He's got to be able to see who can do what around AB. Right. And he's not getting an opportunity to do that. And that's frustrating the heck out of him. So I just wish that this matter could get resolved as quickly as possible. I'm almost like, okay, does he not want to practice in training camp and he's using his helmet as an excuse and then he's going to come out in regular season and boom and make an impact? I don't know what to think about AB in terms of some of his antics. But the league has, again, 30-some helmets that he can choose from that he can get in compliance with and then go out and play.
What type of impact do you think it's having on the locker room? They got a lot of young players there now. Like, when they're watching this, how is that impacting them?
Chris,
the culture?
Exactly. And Chris, you know how it is in locker rooms. Guys are saying, okay, AB getting away with it. Well, let me try. Let me try to get away with some things. You're letting him get away with it. You're letting him do this. You're letting him say this. That's what it does. And for a young football team and for a team, the Raiders that are trying to get back to their winning ways, they need him, like Mayock said, to be balled in, to be there every single day, practicing and getting ready. I know I had my best seasons. Chris, you probably did too. I had my best seasons when I went through a full training camp. And I practiced every single day. The confidence that I had going into that year was just great. And I just worry that he's not getting a chance to get the continuity that he needs with Derek Carr, because Derek Carr is not Ben Roethlisberger.
No. Right.
The Raiders don't have a Le'Veon Bell. They don't have a Juju Smith-Schuster. They don't have a heck of an offensive line. And they don't have a Hall of Fame quarterback like they have in Pittsburgh with Ben Roethlisberger. So he needs to be there. He needs to be on time, and he needs to be practicing and building his team up to try to go out and do some things during the regular season.
And the Raiders also don't have a top 10 defense like the Steelers either. So that's one of the things that you have to keep in mind. But, Torry, you brought up a great point when you talked about the continuity with this quarterback, Derek Carr. To me, that was the primary objective. That was the impetus for Mike Mayock and John Gruden to make that deal with the Pittsburgh Steelers, to bring over somebody that you know is a constant in terms of production at the wide receiver position, because I believe that one of the big questions that they're trying to answer this year in Oakland is whether or not Derek Carr is going to be their quarterback when they move to Vegas. And so I think that AB is detracting from what Mike Mayock and John Gruden envisioned for him in terms of his role and the purpose why they gave him that guaranteed money on a contract extension. A part of it is star power, because they don't have a lot of star power to speak of. They traded away Amari Cooper. They traded away Khalil Mack. They did that. They made those moves. So you do need a star on the field. I think Antonio Brown can be that, but with the distractions that he's bringing to the table with the feet thing and not being ready at the starting training camp and now with the helmet fiasco, I think that this is a situation where he's taking away from what John Gruden and Mike Mayock are trying to build. And so they're going to eventually have to try to move past this. It's still preseason, so they got a little time. But I think that you don't want something like this to be a distraction once the games kick off in September and they start to mean something.
No doubt. And he was supposed to help aid in the new Raiders, and he's not there. And I got to believe that Mayock and Gruden are like, a helmet?
Right, you can see it in Mayock's
a helmet?
Yeah. Describe you played the position.
As a player, I'm like, AB, a helmet? Seriously? That's why we missing practice? A helmet? So I'm going to go back. The league has 30 helmets. The league has 30 helmets that he can choose from that's going to fit him, where he can go out and do his job and do it at a high level. And I'm sure Mayock and Gruden had a conversation with him. Look, are you going to be there? Are you going to be on time? Are you going to work? And he's probably said, yes, 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 yes. And now they get to the point where he's not there, so they're checking themselves. Like, did we make the right decision?
Well, there were reports that came out recently about them sending the 5-day letter to him, where, if he didn't show up within 5 days, he could be suspended for the whole year from any team and not get his $29 million or the $30 million guarantee. How much you think of a factor, like, did that scare kind of his camp? he was there the next
yeah,
day.
absolutely. I mean, who wants to leave $30 million on the table? This $30 million can change the trajectory for everybody that's associated with Antonio Brown, particularly his family. You talk about generational wealth. This is something that he now has now, and you're going to leave that on the table just because you can't find a helmet that fits.
How much of John Gruden's success or just tenure here with the Raiders is contingent upon what AB?
Every bit of it. You saw the jubilation in John Gruden and Mayock when they signed Antonio Brown. They got a receiver that has been very, very productive since he's been in the National Football League over the last 5-6 years, whatever the case may be. So they were really excited. So this is going to hinge on all of those guys' success. It's how AB continues to respond to the situation. Now, we know when he gets in what type of player he is. He's going to draw double coverage. He's going to allow Terrell Williams and those guys to get one-on-one opportunities. He's going to take safeties out of the box now. Josh Jacobs and those guys can run the ball. They got Gabe Jackson. They're pretty decent offensive lines. So there's some parts there. They're missing the key cog, and that's Antonio Brown. Not only are they missing his playmaking ability, but his ability to showcase what it's like to be a pro and what it's like to get prepared week in and week out to go out and dominate.
Well, Torry, one of the things I wanted to ask you is how this saga with Antonio Brown's ends with the Oakland Raiders, because to this point, the organization has put a positive face forward. They've tried to support him in filing the grievances to the NFL with the helmet issue. How does this thing get resolved? How does it end? I don't know I don't know if it gets resolved. I think this is going to linger throughout the regular season. I think something could potentially come up with AB. It always has, right?
Right.
He's, a spectacular player, and I love AB. I think the world of him. But the things that come with him, it's the issue. And that's why it was nothing for Pittsburgh to say, you know what?
Right.
We're good. You know, we'll move on.
They tried to make it work, though.
Tried.
Remember, Art Rooney II, their owner, flew down to Miami to visit with AB to try to mend fences.
Listen to what you just said. The owner flew down to Miami to talk to him. Guys, the owner's not coming and visiting you. The owner came to give him a visit. So that's what they thought about him. That's what they think about his talents. And he still couldn't get it together. So this is something that's going to linger throughout the regular season with Antonio Brown and the Oakland Raiders and could play a huge part in their downfall this year if he doesn't, get it together.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.